Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Brandon from Top10Gamer.com again, and today we have another unboxing for you. It's the UtechSmart Venus. Much like the Logitech G600 or the Razer Naga 2014, the Venus has up to 18 programmable buttons. More than you need if you play ARPG, FPS games, things like that. But if you play an MMORPG that just has a ton of functions, commands, or whatever you need to add on there, then you know how useful something like this can be. The difference between the Venus and other competitors is that its price point is around $40. UtechSmart advertises that it uses Omron switches, so it should have a high click lifespan, as well as an Avago sensor. I'm not exactly sure which sensor that is, but we know that with Avago you get a pretty good quality product. So anyway, for 40 bucks, is it worth saving $34, $30 to $40 versus something like the G600 or Razer Naga 2014? Let's get to the unboxing. Okay, again, here's a look at the front of the box, and as I said before, a whopping 16,400 DPI. Let me know what you guys think about that, if that's just way overkill or just advertising. I'm not exactly sure. Laser engine, it says 19 buttons, only 18 of those are programmable, as I said before. 8 weights, so weight tuning's kind of nice. I usually on mice that are bigger like this, I don't actually use the weight tuning, just because if you're going to play something like an MMO all day, I don't really see the purpose in adding additional weight to it, unless there's something in that MMO that's really twitch sensitive, I guess. It has 5 modes and a powerful driver. Now let's take a look at the back. Okay, as you can see, I had to tip this up to show you the back of the box, but it comes with 16 million colors. You can light this thing up just about any way that you want to. That includes the roller here. I'll show you that a bit later. This is the mode switching button down here. That again doesn't count for programmable buttons, but overall looks like a pretty good mouse. Let's get to it, open it up, and test it out. Let's get to what's inside the box. As you can see, we've got our manual here where you can join their community right there on Facebook and Twitter. You can follow UtechSmart, up-and-coming company. You've got their weights here. The mouse itself feels pretty good. You know, I was actually pretty satisfied with how the mouse felt overall. Kind of had that Death Adder felt feel to it, and I'm sure that that was their aim in doing that. And in fact, the scroll wheel itself even has that same kind of feel to it. Overall, very good looking mouse, braided cable, gold-plated USB for however important that is to you. And there's some kind of adhesive stickers, and at first I couldn't figure out what these were for because I couldn't find it in the manual, but I think they were a replacement for these bottom slick feet here, or maybe you put them on top, I'm not sure. But anyway, looks like UtechSmart wants you to use this for the long haul. The weights are a little bit confusing online. It says in one place on UtechSmart's website that they're 5 grams, in one place that they're 2.5. I'm pretty sure because we've seen these weights before on the Anchor mouse. They probably come from the same manufacturer facility. I'm pretty sure they're the 2.5 gram weights. So you've got 20 ounces of weight there. The mouse itself is 5.3 ounces. UtechSmart is at least advertising that, which is around 150 grams. So already a pretty heavy mouse, but you can make it a little heavier and get it up to 170 if you want to. My guess is you probably won't use that because for MMO games you're going to want longevity rather than accuracy, so that's probably something you won't add. But either way, it's nice to know that you have it. Here's a quick look at the software, which was pretty intuitive. You had to get in here and kind of figure it out, but overall it wasn't too bad. The main thing that I was trying to figure out, and I know it's like stupid, but how do I program these side buttons? Well, you have to click on side here, and then you can go from 1 to 12 and program these buttons. So when you come in here to start, you'll notice that the polling rate that they have is at 500 Hertz. You'll want to move that to 1000 Hertz to make it a little bit more accurate. And then I'd come right into the DPI. They start you out with the general profiles, which is really your first one. Come into your DPI and adjust that, because it's going to start, this is actually what I adjusted it to, from about 600 to 3600 DPI here is all I'll use, and then I'll just switch on the mouse when I want to increase the DPI, and then switch on the mouse when I want to decrease, like if I'm doing a sniper shot or something like that. In an MMO, you'll probably just find one speed that you like the whole time, and And so you can just leave it on whatever is best for you there, and then switch it to whatever you like for browsing. So if you want to, cool thing about this mouse is you can literally choose from 16 million colors of how you want your mouse to be, but and you can even, now on a lot of mice you can't change the other lights like the scroll wheel here, but on this one you actually can. The way to do it is to click between these profiles. Now I didn't find a way that I could manually choose a custom color and then have the same color in this scroll wheel. I couldn't figure out how to do that, but if you're willing to accept one of their preset custom colors, then you can actually keep all of the lights just how you want them to be. So anyway, I thought these lights were pretty cool. I'm just going to scroll down here and focus in on the mouse. Here's the yellow one, and it might seem just a little bit off on my camera, but as you can see, pretty cool. Here's the yellow, the green, the blue, the purple, and then the default is red. It looks orange here, but it's actually red. So pretty cool overall, I thought, because a lot of times, again, you can't customize all those lights. There's more lights here on the front as well. So pretty cool if you want to nerd out a little bit with the lights next to your backlit keyboard and maybe your tricked out PC gaming rig. So I spent a few hours gaming with this mouse, and I actually have very few criticisms when I thought I might have a few, and the reason was is I read, I went on to Amazon and pretty much read every customer review, and there were a lot of really good reviews. A lot of times when people are given the product, they just go ahead and give a good review, so I don't always pay attention to those as much as the bad reviews, just to see what people that didn't like about the product thought. And the thing that they thought was that maybe the sensor was a little jumpy, and I gotta tell you, I couldn't see that at all. I think those people must have just stayed with the 16,400 DPI. Maybe they didn't raise the ultra polling rate or try to use the software at all with it. I didn't have any problem with it. In fact, I have very few criticisms for UtechSmart for this mouse overall, because you're paying $40, almost half the price of something like the Razer Naga 2014, and getting pretty much the same level of functionality. Now the software is just a little less intuitive than something like the Razer Naga 2014 or the Logitech G600. Also, there's a thumb rest on the side of this that I think is to prohibit you from hitting the buttons on the side accidentally, but it doesn't seem very necessary where it is, but at least they made it a minimal design. I think that if it were me, I might turn that into some kind of thumb rest that I could actually set my thumb on and use, because it did feel a little strange holding the mouse in that way. Other than that, it's very customizable. Again, you can change the lights to anything you want to. And if you're in the market, you might want to save yourself the $30. Go with something like this instead of paying for the name for the big brands. So got a lot coming up for you. We're going to be continuing on with the For the Money series. I've also been asked for some other companies to do some product samples, so hopefully you guys are okay with taking a look at that. We're going to get pretty picky. I'm going to start getting pretty picky about the things that I accept, just because I want to bring you guys either gaming related items, computer hardware, that kind of stuff that I'm really interested in, and hopefully you guys can see that passion that I have about that. If you like this channel, like and subscribe. That helps me out, allows me to not only do bigger and better things, but gives me more exposure and allows me to get more product samples just like this one, so that I can bring them in front of you, unbox them, and review them for you. Again, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.